The view set is buzzing, bright lights, polished desk, and an audience already leaning forward with anticipation. The producers know today's guest will draw big numbers. The theme music fades and Whoopi Goldberg beams toward the camera. Please welcome Prince Harry. Harry steps out from the side curtain, his suit crisp, his stride casual but measured. He flashes that polite, almost rehearsed smile, waving to the audience. There's a mix of cheers and polite claps, but not the wild roar he's used to at charity events. He takes his seat at the long table, adjusting his jacket. To his right, Sonny Hostin offers a warm nod. To his left, Sharon Osbourne sits stiffly, her sharp bob perfectly in place, a steaming coffee cup in hand. She eyes him over the rim with a look that could cut glass. Sonny begins softly. Harry, it's great to have you here. We know you've been working hard on your new charity project. Tell us a little about what inspired it. Harry leans forward, grateful for the safe question. Well, Sonny, this project is about giving young people the tools to build resilience to... Sharon suddenly clears her throat, a deliberate, pointed sound. Sorry to interrupt, she says, setting down her coffee with a thunk. But before we get to the sunshine and rainbows, don't you ever feel like you've traded your family's privacy for, let's say, a bit of profit? The room freezes for half a beat. The audience reacts with a collective gasp, half shocked, half thrilled. Cameras catch Harry blinking rapidly, his smile faltering just enough to be noticeable. Well, that's a complicated question, Harry begins, his voice measured. Sharon tilts her head, lips curling in a knowing smirk. Oh, I don't think it's complicated at all, darling. The tension settles like a thick fog. Whoopi shifts in her chair, glancing at the floor producer. But no one dares cut to commercial yet. This is TV Gold. Harry adjusts his cufflinks, inhaling deeply before answering. I think it's important to remember, Sharon, that when you've been misrepresented for so long, you want to set the record straight. The projects I've done, my book, the Netflix series, those were about sharing my truth, my perspective. Sharon leans in, elbows on the desk, her eyes locked on him like a predator sizing up its prey. Your truth? She interrupts, drawing out the words. Or the most lucrative version of it? The audience lets out a low, oh! A few scattered laughs break the tension, but most people are glued to the exchange. Harry's jaw tightens, though he tries to maintain his calm tone. With respect, Sharon, it's not about money. It's about authenticity, about telling the story the tabloids never cared to. Sharon tilts her head and smirks. Funny you should bring up the tabloids, because for someone who claims to hate them, you sure have learned to play their game. Harry shifts in his chair, his polite veneer beginning to crack. That's not fair. I've spent years battling that system. It's about controlling the narrative, not exploiting it. Sharon gestures with one hand toward the cameras and the live audience. And yet, here you are, on live daytime television, talking about yourself again. The crowd murmurs, half uncomfortable, half entertained. Sonny's eyes dart between the two, her smile frozen, while Whoopi leans back with that here we go expression. Harry exhales sharply through his nose. Sharon, there's a difference between sharing your story and selling it. Sharon grins like a chess player who's just cornered her opponent. Depends who's keeping score, darling. The tension now feels electric. Audience members lean forward, phones discreetly recording. The producers in the control room are practically salivating. Harry straightens in his chair, visibly trying to pivot the conversation. Look, I'm here to talk about the Invictus Games and the young people whose stories deserve to be heard. Sharon cuts in smoothly, like she's been waiting for this exact moment. Oh, we'll get to the charity, love. But you can't keep hopping from one exclusive interview to another, dropping royal bombshells and then act shocked when people question your motives. Harry's lips press into a tight line. That's not what I'm doing. The work I'm involved in is real, it's tangible. It's about veterans' mental health and... Sharon waves a hand dismissively. And yet somehow every time you talk about those things, you manage to work in how badly you've been treated. It's almost as if you've built a brand out of being the wounded prince. The crowd erupts in a mix of gasps and scattered applause. A few people laugh nervously. Harry leans forward now, his voice firmer. My brand, as you call it, is built on speaking the truth. Not just for me, but for others who can't. Sharon doesn't miss a beat. Oh, love. If you're going to step into the kitchen, you can't complain about the heat. That line lands like a hammer. The audience reacts instantly, some clapping, some murmuring in disbelief. The camera cuts to Whoopi, who has her hands raised as if refereeing a boxing match. All right, let's keep it civil, folks, Whoopi says, but there's an amused glint in her eye. Harry's jaw works silently for a moment before he looks down at his notes. Sharon leans back in her chair, sipping her coffee with the calm satisfaction of someone who knows she just scored the headline moment of the week. The moment. Whoopi tries to move the conversation forward. The tension still hangs thick in the studio. The teleprompter cues the next segment, but neither Sharon nor Harry is looking at it. Harry sits with his shoulders slightly hunched, flipping his notes without actually reading them. His jaw is still tight, and every so often he glances toward Sharon, who hasn't looked away from her coffee cup once. She takes slow, deliberate sips, almost like a silent victory lap. Sonny Hostin, ever the professional, tries to steer the energy back to safe waters. So Harry, about the Invictus Games. Harry forces a polite smile and begins speaking. But the spark is gone. His voice feels flatter now, the words mechanical. A few people in the audience exchange glances, as if they're watching a boxing match where one fighter is already down. Meanwhile, Sharon casually leans back in her chair, legs crossed, radiating the calm confidence of someone who knows. The viral clip is already in the making. The segment wraps with the usual applause, but the sound is uneven, half enthusiastic, half awkward. As the show cuts to commercial, Harry stands quickly, exchanging a brief handshake with Sonny. Sharon offers her hand too. Harry takes it, but his eyes are fixed elsewhere. Backstage, the buzz is immediate. Producers huddle with headsets, whispering things like, "We need to clip that for socials ASAP," and "That's trending before the end of the hour." They're right. By the time Harry's car pulls away from the studio, Twitter or X is flooded with side-by-side screenshots. Sharon leaning forward, eyebrow raised. Harry mid-blink, caught off guard. The captions range from savage to gleeful. Sharon Osbourne just ended Harry's daytime TV career. Wounded prince meets TV queen, guess who wins? Kitchen too hot for the royal? By the end of the day, Sharon vs. Harry is the #1 trending tag in the UK and the US. Fans argue in heated threads, and gossip outlets already have headlines queued up for the morning. Somewhere in Los Angeles, Meghan Markle's phone lights up, with a dozen messages each, one with the same viral clip attached. Sharon sleeps well that night,